Hi, welcome to Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer coming to you from Charleston, South Carolina. And joining me is my college roommate and co-host, Kelly.
Latelli Busby, former radio host and current volleyball mom, coming to you from my home studio in Columbus, Ohio. Together, Sarah and I hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio, and we are back again this week to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo. Today, we'll be discussing Below Deck Med Season 9, Episode 16, Chain of Commandment.
Here's your recap. The crew welcomes repeat charter guests and plans a land excursion and a dinner performance. Jono wows the guests with his food, and Carrie is helpful with the cocktails. Bree finally gets her laundry system down, and Aesha confronts Ellie about overstepping her position. Kelly, how many shackles did you give this episode?
I'm thinking I'm going to give it 7 shackles.
Yeah.
Again, it was pretty good. Nothing like explosive, but again, it was like a build up to the last episode. So
yeah, for sure. And I felt like they're kind of cramming it in a little bit too. You know, they're like, we gotta get to the finale.
Yeah. So. Gosh, they could have cut out a lot of the middle episodes if they wanted.
I think we always feel that way.
I know.
When the episode begins, it's 3 a.m. Gail is crying and Aisha's comforting her, and she tucks Gail into bed with Nathan. Thought this was a bit of an odd choice. Carrie and Joe are eating cold pizza and drinking beer. Sounds delicious. And Nathan assures Gail he wants to travel with her. But, and then he also tells her he loves her more and more. Now, I didn't hear this, but that's what the text said on the screen.
Yeah. So, I think I did hear him say, I love you more and more, but I'm pretty sure I was hearing that as I was reading it. So, you know, it could have said something, he could have said something completely different, and that's what it could have been. So, a lot of stuff happening in the wee hours of the morn. But Joe and Carrie wandering around the boat, and they get pizza, and Carrie's so geeked about the pineapple pizza. So this is quite controversial. Where do you stand with pineapple on pizza?
Team pineapple. Love the sweet and savory combination. I love pineapple and onion on a pizza.
Yes.
What about you?
It has the sweet, the salty, the savory. Yeah, I kind of do too. I don't eat it a whole lot, but it's like, it's not horrible.
I throw pineapple in like stir fries. I think it's a great
grilled pineapple is delicious.
Ooh, yeah, that
sounds good. Have you ever had it?
I don't. Well, maybe on like a shish kebab or something.
Yeah, so good.
That does sound good. Oh, we have a little like kitchen grill now. Maybe I'll have to get some pineapple rings and give it a whirl. Yeah. Okay, the next day, Joe tells Nathan he wants Carrie as a mate, as a pal. And Nathan thinks there's just no way. Like, he knows Joe. And it's as if Joe has just now realized that boys and girls can just be friends.
Okay, so when I first watched this part, I thought he meant a mate as in someone you would procreate with.
Right.
And I thought, wow, Joe, you really, really are not helping yourself here.
Aisha calls a meeting with her stews. This is the last charter. And it's Stacy and Brad, the repeat charter guests. And tonight's theme is going to be Swedish pop musical Greek ? And the crew will be doing a performance.
I would like to call this season the season of balloon arches.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've had other seasons that have had a theme. So like we've had the beef cheek season. Because I don't like that guy, so I won't say his name.
No.
We've also had espresso martini seasons. What else have we had?
Let's see. Well, also the like silent disco seasons, like that's this season and some of the last recent seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the balloon arches are really big this season though.
Yeah. I mean, they're fun. They do add a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, all you got to do is just money. So you just buy it and bring it on and put it up, right? So you don't have to blow up all those balloons.
That's right.
So Aisha commends Bree on her laundry color system, and Bree is just so proud. She's just beaming.
As she should be. It's working. It's just a shame that she didn't get this system started earlier in the season.
Just in time for the last charter.
Right.
So with Ellie, she does kind of the compliment sandwich. She says, the tablescapes have been great. Like, your decor looks really good.
Yeah.
But she says, you need to be faster, like Carrie. And it was kind of like saying, why can't you be more like your sister? This is not going to cause any issues, I'm sure.
Ellie is pretty hurt by this, and she feels like she isn't the favorite anymore now that Bree isn't making mistakes and Carrie is just heads down in her work. So now Aesha could give a little bit more focus on Ellie. And it's not the good kind of focus.
So it's 2 hours before the charter, and Ellie is kind of checking out a bit. She says this, and she's not doing what Aesha asks, and Aesha is not pleased.
Well, Ellie is acting like she's pissed because she needs to work while she's at work. I just don't know.
Yeah. So the guests arrive, and the primaries were on the last season of Down Under, and they make a comment that this boat is a lot nicer than Northern Sun. Remember, this was the old converted fishing vessel, vintage.
Wait, I feel like my car is a nicer boat than the Northern Sun.
Yeah, for sure. So Carrie shares about the last yacht job she had, and she said the owner's wife got sick, and then Carrie went from being the chief stew to a caregiver, and it sounds like it was really hard on her. And I was just thinking, I don't know what her relationship was with these people, but this doesn't sound appropriate. If you have enough money to own a yacht, you can hire professional caregivers and nurses to come on and take care of your wife, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think that it's right at all. It was very kind of Carrie to accept that role of being a caregiver, but that's just really hard for anyone to do that's not a trained professional. And it's still hard for the trained professionals too. So I just can't imagine it. She's young. That's just a lot to ask of someone.
Agreed. So I really like the guest's toast. He said, "To relaxing couple days filled with all kinds of mischief."
That's my kind of toast. I love that. So one of the drinks they were asking the stews to make, it was a Tito's, soda water, and pre-workout. Is that like adding a Red Bull to it or something? Because pre-workout's like a energizer, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, all the meals they had,
ball.
They seem like kind of health nuts in general. All their meals, they look delicious, but they were super healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's lunchtime. Spring rolls, fish, noodles, they're loving it. And they're wondering if Jono is, quote, part of the family. And I think it's confirmed when Jono walks out and says, "Can I get a hey girl, hey?"
I love that Jono feels that he can be himself with these guests. And he can kind of relax a little bit around him. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm liking it. So Ellie tries to help Carrie in laundry, and Carrie's very protective over Bree's color system. And she tells Ellie there's just too many cooks in the stew. Yeah. And you can just tell she doesn't know where she fits in anymore.
I think that simple act of Carrie standing up for Bree's system was pretty awesome. She didn't have to, but she did because that was the right thing to do. And yes, there are way too many stews in that cook in that stew. Whatever she said.
Yeah. Too many cooks in the kitchen, too many stews in the laundry, something like that. Okay, now it's water sports time. I really love the slow-mo shot of all the boys riding the banana. Looked hilarious.
Classic.
The stews are setting up for the theme dinner tonight, and the boat docks for the night. I don't really know why it docks. I didn't hear anything about wind.
Yeah. So there seems to be some struggle with the stews right now. So Aesha tells Carrie in person to go take care of the pantry, which we know that she loves that because she does it so quickly. And then Ellie jumps in and calls her over the radio and tell Carrie and Bree that she needs their help upstairs with the decorating. So then Aesha pops in and says, "No, they're busy right now." And Ellie responds with her signature, "Copy, copy." And all of this was over the radio. So not only could the guests hear it, but the entire crew could hear it. And it was just so cringe.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah.
For sure. Jono has really hit his stride in the galley with the last couple of charters. I'm proud.
So very proud of him. Well done.
Yes. So after dinner, they have the party up top, and it's time for this crew performance. And it's just Gail and Joe dancing, and then the rest of the crew are backup dancers behind them. Nathan makes a choice to wear this neon leotard, though.
Was he? I didn't even notice. Never mind the fact that the camera kept taking tight shots on his jump.
I know. Poor Nathan. Good God.
The entire crew did so well, though. It was very fun to watch. Yeah. I just love how they like to have fun.
Yeah, definitely. The next day, after breakfast, the guests go on an excursion to the Temple of Poseidon. Is this where they went before? Was this the other?
I don't think so. I think they went to.
It was some kind of fertility temple, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was the Poseidon temple. I think it was something else.
All these Greek ancient ruins kind of look the same, so hence the confusion. So Iain and Bree get to go with them, which they're very excited about.
How cute was Bree with her excitement, finding out that she gets to go on an excursion. I'm sorry, or an adventure.
Yeah, that was cute. So Aesha talks to Captain Sandy about the proposal, and Captain Sandy wants flowers. She wants a violin player, and Sandy's nerves are starting to get to her. She wants it to be perfect.
Aesha's asking all the right questions, and hopefully that's going to help calm Sandy's nerves. But yeah, she's excited.
Yeah, they've really been talking up this proposal like for several episodes, so I'm ready. I'm ready to get on with it. So at the temple, Iain has memorized some facts, and I was thinking, good job, Iain. Like,
you really sounded prepared.
Good tour guide. Yeah. So they head back to the boat, and Ellie is managing, or maybe micromanaging, the decorations for dinner. Put this balloon here, no, move it over here. And Aesha thinks Ellie is really overstepping her second stew role.
She sure has. And could we say maybe that Ellie is kind of spinning in this episode?
Some could say.
Yeah.
Okay, tonight's dinner. Everyone is wearing these white Greek toga outfits, like really good ones. It's not just like grab a bed sheet and wrap it around. They're like really good.
Yeah.
And Aesha calls over the radio, lets Jono know that they're clearing. And then Ellie gets on and says the same thing like right after that. And then, of course, Jono is confused. Aesha said this is the first time Ellie has done this all season. So this is kind of strange. And Aesha says this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And so she goes ahead and pulls Ellie aside, like up top, and tells her she's overstepping. And Ellie's very quick to apologize, but she kind of acts like she has no idea what Aesha is talking about. And just like total shock on Ellie's part. And Aesha says Ellie has disrespected her position. And she's over it.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that Ellie looked shocked because she thinks she could do no wrong. I'm sorry, but how could she not know she's rubbing her boss the wrong way? Like, and now she thinks Aesha thinks that Ellie is a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Ellie thinks that Aesha thinks that she's a scapegoat. I don't. What is happening right now?
It does not make any sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. So that's where the episode kind of ends. They did say next week is the finale, and that means the proposal is going to happen. And it looks like Joe is going to wrap a lion around the tender prop when he's taking Sandy and Leah. Like, bad timing. I bet the wedding's going to be its own episode if they're saying next week's the finale. So. I hope they would give us a whole episode.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exciting. It's just so much is going to happen in the last episode. And it's only going to be, 44 minutes.
Exactly. Unless they make it an hour and a half, which they have been known to do.
Let's do that. Hey, let's do that.
I think we need our own wedding episode or 2 episodes,
Or a season.
Give us the whole lead up to it. Give us the wedding. I mean, you got all these below deck people there. You'll have Norma. I want to see it all.
Infamous Norma.
Yes.
Love it. It's time for our segment, Acting Like Aesha, where we attempt to say an Aesha quote like the Kiwi Queen herself. All right, Sarah.
One of these is from an older episode because it's been hard to find 2 Aesha quotes recently. I don't know why.
But guess what, Ellie? I'm going to swoop in and I'm going to put out your candle.
Guess what, Ellie? I'm going to swoop in and I'm going to put out your candle.
Love it.
Okay.
Love.
Here's one for you. Okay, let me turn this up. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
A little bit of kink going on in Ohio.
A little bit of kink going on in Ohio.
Good job.
Oh, only one more, right? Gosh. Only one more.
Only one more. I don't know that we're gonna miss this segment. It's been kind of hard for us.
Yeah.
It's time for Hot Tub Convo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
Nadine, the executive producer of Med and Down Under, was on Melissa Rivers' podcast, Group Text. It was a really great listen and a peek behind the scenes of filming the shows. She hinted that maybe Max from France would get another season. And she also said Norma will be on the wedding episode of Med. So that's really, really neat.
That's cool. I'm glad everyone will get to see Norma. And if you want to see Norma, you could go to our YouTube channel and watch our interview with Norma. And you get to have like a whole 45 minutes with her. So
he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I should listen to Melissa Rivers' podcast more often. She's part of our media network, Hurrdat.
Yeah.
And she is such a Below Deck fan. I hope we can do a crossover episode with her at some point.
That would be amazing.
She's for
many reasons.
Yes, that would be exactly. We're big fans. And she just seems to have this incredible memory for Below Deck episodes and cast members and seasons. And I think she just did a whole rewatch of all of them, which I can't even imagine. That would take forever. So yeah, Melissa, we would love to do a podcast with you. So Below Deck Med, the after show, I did watch the most recent episode.
Yeah.
And you can see Nadine sitting off set, like interviewing the crew. So that was kind of a fun sneak peek, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And Joe said he regrets saying Gail was a princess, but then he went on to defend it by saying, well, that's the only thing I could say about her. She's a princess. Like, it was not that bad. Like, I like her, blah, blah, blah. No. And he said maybe Gail thinks he's micromanaging her because she doesn't respect him as a figure of authority.
Said every micromanager in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's really hung up on this princess thing, but I just feel like he's missing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And how could he watch the season and not see it? It's so obvious.
To us, yeah. To us, because we've been micromanaged in our lives, right?
Yeah.
And by a dude, most likely by a man. So
totally.
It is what it is.
So the whole laundry issue, Joe said that his red polo shirt at one point was starting to turn yellow, and he was worried people would think he's working on a different boat. I thought,
oh my gosh.
I know. And so Carrie chimed in about the laundry, and she said the deck team would bring laundry down like midday and just kind of throw in their wet stuff, not in their laundry bag, not labeled, no names on the tags. And so she said in Bree's defense, the crew was not helping, like specifically the guys, the deck team. And she called them cheeky little sausages.
How, it just... These guys just remind me of, like, they live with a significant other. They go to bed, the house is trash.
Their mom.
They wake up, that too. Then they wake up and the house is clean. And they're like, it's just so amazing. Like, every night I go to bed and when I wake up, it's all clean. I have no idea how it happens. Dude, come on,
guys.
Cheeky little sausages. That's what I'm going to start calling people.
Yeah, I like it.
Speaking of cheeky little sausages, Captain Jason. We love you, Captain Jason. We miss you so much. He has a signature fragrance coming out. It's called Captain. And he says it smells like him in a bottle. It's inspired by his love of nature, the ocean, waterfalls. It's made by a company in Bali, and it's gender neutral, and cannot wait to smell him. I mean, smell the perfume, cologne, whatever, fragrance.
The fragrance. Yeah, I'm excited to smell it. I guess he was really into essential oils and stuff on season 1 of Down Under, and so he wanted to kind of create his own fragrance. So
I'm excited.
I'm totally gonna get a bottle of that. I can't wait. Yeah. So last week we talked about Elizabeth Frankini being at Barbie's birthday, and Vicky S had a comment on our YouTube channel, and she said, Elizabeth Frankini, you mean she's still on her 15 minutes of fame? The one that was clueless, just chased after that dude all season, and then when she got fired, acted shocked, and the guy she thought was her boyfriend was like, phew. When she had to leave the boat, she was one of my all-time least favorite cast members. I loved it when she was on the phone with her energy healer when Captain Lee strolled by. I don't remember any of this. And so apparently I need to go back. I thought it was a really early season, but it was only season 8 of Below Deck. So it was not that long ago.
Yeah. And this is OG, right?
Yeah, this is OG.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Wow.
Do you remember all that? I don't remember all that.
I don't remember all of that. But
the chief stew was Francesca that season. And I feel like, you know, that was
I don't think I watched that season.
One-time chief stew. So I think it was finding its legs after Kate left. So yeah, maybe I just kind of blocked that season out.
So Nathan commented on our Instagram last week. So remember when we talked about how kids these days not wanting to say they're dating? So when Nathan said, I don't know what's going on, that was aimed at the Gail and Joe beef. Quote, it had nothing to do with me and Gail, end quote. And then Joe chimed in and said, I stand by this. So, okay.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yes.
So we kind of misinterpreted that, I guess.
Thank you for commenting.
Yes, definitely. So Captain Glenn and Colin will be at the Annapolis Sailboat Show October 10th through the 14th. It's an annual celebration of sailing featuring boats from around the world. This would be a fun one to go to. We'll see how we like Flibs in Fort Lauderdale. But I love Annapolis, and going to Annapolis in the fall I think would be lovely.
I've never been, but I bet there's a bunch of like Navy guys there. Yeah.
Seaman, 12 o'clock.
Oh, it's time for our segment, Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see Captain Sandy for his stern talking to. Okay, Miss Sarah, who do you pick this week?
Oh my gosh, I did not prepare, of course. Who do I want to choose? I don't really want to call Ellie yet again. Well, based on not really the episode, but based on the after show, I would pick Joe.
Okay.
Just because he's still being so clueless about like treating Gail differently.
It's interesting. I feel like Gail or Joe and Ellie could be sharing the wheelhouse.
Yeah, they're just alternating back and forth. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Thank you to our team at Hurrdat Media, especially our amazing producer, Grace. Please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to tell a friend. Please rate and review us, 5 stars only.
Please follow us on Instagram at Above Deck Pod, and you can email us at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. And you can always watch our episodes on the Hurrdat Media YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Kelly Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. We'll see you next week. I'll show you what it looks like. This is, see, it's like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It keeps going like